y'all, it's Mikey and Bill. Welcome to the farm. We are so glad to have y'all here with us today. Happy 4th of July. We've got a lot going on today. Hubby is going to be braving the heat outside, smoking us a Boston butt. And while he is out there sweating, I'm going to be inside enjoying the nice, cool air condition. But I'm going to be making us a delicious dessert for supper along with our fixins. Y'all come along with us and see what we got cooking up today.
All right, we picked up some of this charcoal yesterday. I've never tried it before. It's the Kingsford sweet and fruity wood flavor. It's apple wood flavored. So we're going to try this in our smoker here. It's an Oklahoma Joe smoker grill gas combo. I don't personally like the charcoal with the match light in it that you instant light. It's a preference. People, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't like it because I don't like the gas taste to it when you're cooking food and stuff like that. So I do use the regular charcoal that you just light with newspaper up under it in the little smokestack. I have 3 of my little helpers here trying to help me out. That's what they think they're doing anyway. I think they just want the barbecue, y'all. It ain't ready yet, buddy. Well, I got Rocky here and Doodles and Bear Bear running around. So what we have is a Boston butt. And what I'm going to do is be rubbing it down with some olive oil and putting some dry rub, Kinder's dry rub on it. Then we have some garlic powder and some seasoned salt. So the olive oil is only to get the dry seasoning to stick to it really good. And then we're gonna let that sit here and we're gonna take it out and put it on the smoker, y'all. So let's go ahead and get to it. My helpers were helping themselves to the trash can, y'all. Cover it really good, be generous with it. It's gonna be on that smoker for a long time today. All right, let's go get this on the smoker. You want to set it as far away from the heat as possible and just keep it over here on the right side, far away from the heat as you can. When I opened it up, because the charcoal caught a lot of air and the temperature went up to about 260, something like that. And now it's going back, it's right almost back down into the 225. So I want to cook it between 200 and 225 at the most, maybe 250 at the most. So just keeping it there and cook it low and slow. Smells good, the aroma. I wish y'all could smell that. And what I will do is probably come out here and mist it to keep it moist with a little bit of either butter or take some water and a little bit of vinegar to keep it moistened down every now and again. You don't want it to dry out.
Okay, let's get things started here in the kitchen. I'm going to be making my grandmother's homemade macaroni and cheese. I always put a little bit of olive oil in my water. It helps to keep the noodles from sticking together. We're going to turn the burner on high heat. And while I'm waiting on the water to come to a boil, I'm going to go ahead and start shredding up the cheese. Time to add the noodles. I'm just using elbow pasta noodles, but you can use whatever noodles you desire. I've even seen people make macaroni and cheese with spaghetti noodles. Just utilize whatever you have in your pantry. I'm going to put a half a stick of butter in the bottom of my pan and go ahead and stick it in the oven and let that butter melt. You want your oven preset on 350 degrees.
I was just going to tell you a funny story. I remember the first time I started smoking many years ago and was new to the whole thing. The only thing I ever had was just a barbecue grill, just a gas grill or either a charcoal grill. Never had a smoker or anything like that. You know, I watched a couple videos and stuff like that, you know, how to set it up and how to do it and everything. Y'all gonna get a kick out of this. I saw everybody adding wood chips and stuff like that. I was cooking a Boston butt at the time, just like this right here. So I thought, well, we got a pecan tree. Everybody's talking about pecan wood, cherry wood, walnut, all that stuff. So I went up there, took the clippers, cut some limbs off the tree, you know, green stuff, dead stuff, everything like that. Well, when I brought it down, it was just like this. This is pecan. And y'all see the moss and the bark and everything else on it. I didn't know you were supposed to use wood chips that didn't have the bark on it. Well, for 10, 12, 13 hours, I smoked that Boston butt using charcoal, plain old charcoal, and pieces of pecan wood that had the bark and everything else on it. That thing turned out beautifully. I took it up to the table, put it on the table, and we said the blessing, and everybody went to take a bite of it, and everybody kind of had a face. And I was like, what's wrong with it? And I put me a forkful in my mouth, and y'all, it tasted like swamp wood. I don't know how to describe it. That whole Boston butt had taken on the flavor of the moss growing on it, the bark that was on it, and I mean, it had the nastiest taste you've ever, it wasn't fit to eat. Everybody kind of gnawed it down and didn't really say nothing on it. I didn't want to hurt my feelings on it. And that was the nastiest barbecue I've ever had in my entire life, and I've since learned to use, like, you can take the pecan or the walnut or just use hickory and no bark on it. Just take and cut shavings off of it and use that. So that gives it a much better flavor than the moss and the oak tree bark does.
I've got a jar of string beans that I canned last year. I'm going to be cooking these today over the stovetop, but I always start out with a big scoop of bacon grease in my pan. Next, we're going to add some salt and pepper. I always like to add some crushed red pepper, garlic, and chopped onions to my string beans. Once I get that all in the pan, I just stir it up real good. And I cook it over a medium to a medium-high heat.
Just wanted to show you what I done. That log that I showed y'all earlier in the video when I was talking about the woods and stuff and how I'd messed up smoking. I went and cut it into wedges. I've got about seven of them this size. So what I'm going to do is take the hatchet and chop them up into some chunks and soak them in a bucket of water, because you don't want them to burn too quick. You want them to be kind of a little slow burning, just to give it that hickory flavor. So temperature is still holding around 225, perfect. So let's go ahead and get this done. All right, so this is the size chunks that I'm cutting them up into. And then I'm just going to put them in the water and let them soak and get a little waterlogged, not much, just a little bit damp.
Time to check the noodles. I don't want them too mushy because they're still going to be cooking in the oven some. Looks like they're done. On to the next step, straining the water off the noodles. I'll be using chopped onion, butter, cream cheese, and shredded cheddar cheese, along with my farm fresh eggs. I'm going to be using 4 eggs for this recipe. It helps to hold all the ingredients together. Once I get the eggs mixed together, I pour all the noodles into my baking pan. Then I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, pepper, and my eggs. And we're gonna mix this all together. I'm gonna add some chopped onion and lots of shredded cheese. For this recipe, I'm using sharp and extra sharp cheddar cheese. I want to get all this mixed in really good and make sure that it's all evenly distributed. What's a treat? You don't want it either? I don't think he knows what to do with it, y'all. He finally took it. Let me wash my hands and let's get back on this.
I was going to show you a little trick. I don't have a squirt bottle to put the vinegar and the water in. So what you can do is just take a little 24 ounce, 12 ounce, whatever drink bottle, and just poke a little teeny tiny hole in the top, and you can squirt your water and vinegar and keep your meat from drying out. So just give it a little, like that right there. That's already looking really good.
Okay, back to the mac and cheese. I told y'all I was making my grandmother's recipe, but I had to put my own little twist on it. So I've decided to add some cream cheese in with this. It makes it so rich and creamy. I just take spoonful scoops and push it down throughout the noodles in the pan and just leave the cream cheese in big chunks. The next step, I take butter, cut it up in small pieces, and put it throughout the top of my noodle mixture. So when it's baking in the oven, it's gonna melt all the way through. Now I'm gonna add some milk. I don't measure it, I just pour and make sure that it's evenly distributed throughout the pan. And of course, I'm gonna add more cheese. I'm gonna add a thick layer of shredded cheese to the top. And now it's time for the oven. We're gonna bake this on 350 degrees and check it after 30 minutes. Doesn't that look good? But that's not the final step. Now we're gonna add a layer of Ritz crackers to the top of our mac and cheese. it's time to put it back in the oven. All right, we're gonna leave this in here just until the Ritz crackers get golden brown on top. You wanna keep an eye on it and make sure they don't burn. I am going to go ahead and start on dessert. We're gonna be making a homemade banana pudding, and this recipe we got out of our Cade's Cove recipe book. This is gonna be some good banana pudding, y'all. All right, so we're gonna do 2 cups of milk in a saucepan on your stove top. And the recipe calls for a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of sugar. So we're gonna use 3/4 cup of sugar, y'all. We're gonna turn this on a medium heat and stir this until that sugar's melted. And all we're wanting to do right now is heat up that milk. But we wanna keep stirring it, make sure we don't scald the milk.
Step's gonna get me a cool drink, all fresh out of the oven. Hot macaroni and cheese. Might have to sample that before I go back out. I'm almost done cooking that butt.
All right, so once your milk is heated up, we're gonna add 2 egg yolks. We're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And 2 to 3 tablespoons of flour. We're gonna try 2 first and see what it looks like. And then if it's too thick, you can add a little bit more milk to it. All right, let's see what 2 tablespoons looks like. Might need to add another one, but you just never know once that flour gets in there. I'm gonna try and get this whisked up real good. I'm gonna turn that heat down a little bit more, y'all. You don't want the eggs cooking. You definitely don't want those scrambled eggs in the banana pudding. All right, I think I am gonna go ahead and add that extra tablespoon of flour. All right, so our pudding is thickened up. I'm gonna take it off the heat. I'm gonna pop it in a bowl and stick it in the fridge for just a few minutes, let it cool down some, and go ahead and get our corn started. We picked us up some ears of corn the other day at the grocery store, and ours is not ready in the garden yet. Hopefully, we can salvage it. I did go out there, if y'all saw in our last video, and got as much of it stood up as I possibly could. So it should start growing back up straight. And the reason why I wanted to really get out there and get that done is because our corn stalks had already started tasseling. All right, get this corn cooked up. I love fresh corn on the cob, so hopefully we'll be getting a lot out of our garden this year. Okay, let's go ahead and get some of these bananas cut up, y'all. And we'll be saving the peelings and putting it in our compost box and take it up for our compost pile. Nothing goes to waste. The next thing I want to do is line the bottom of this tray with a layer of vanilla wafers. This is gonna be so good. I love these old Tommy recipes. And these recipes out of the Cade's Cove recipe book, they're actually from members of the community that once lived in Cade's Cove. Either from them directly or their siblings or other family members. I'm gonna line a layer of bananas. I'm putting and we'll go from there. And I'll scoop some pudding out and cover that layer up. You can always make 2 batches of the pudding if you want to. And I used a little bit bigger tray. And so while I had y'all off camera, I actually made another serving of this pudding so I can get some more layers here. So let me grab that real quick and I get some more bananas cut up. whites and whisk them up for the topping on our banana pudding. Make sure it was locked. Started out slow. I don't want it going sloshing everywhere. So we're going to spread this on the top. I'm just going to crumble up a few vanilla wafers to put on the top. I think I know somebody that's going to really enjoy this. Y'all wouldn't happen to know who that might be, would you?
That looks good. Look at this feast. Sweet tea, barbecue, corn on the cob, macaroni and cheese, Cherokee purple tomatoes, fresh cucumbers, and homemade banana pudding.
Chef said he's ready to eat.
Thank you for putting all the work into all this.
Well, thank you for sweating outside over a hot grill.
You're more than welcome. You sweated inside. I forgot the string beans, y'all.
I'm ready to taste that barbecue. Tomato. I'll just use my hands. This barbecue looks good.
Thank you, ma'am. All this looks good. I like this macaroni and cheese.
That's my grandmama's, minus the, that was hot. I don't know, oh, you got tongs over here. Oh well. It works, it landed in my plate. But that's how my grandma made macaroni and cheese, minus the cream cheese in it. That's something new, so. You gotta have butter on the corn.
I don't have no room to put anything.
I know, my plate is loaded full.
to. Cooking all day, definitely ready to eat. Let's say grace. Heavenly Father, thank you for watching over our families, our friends, and loved ones, protecting everyone and keeping everyone safe. Amen.
Amen. We enjoyed having y'all along with us today. We are so thankful for all of our freedoms and the blessings that are bestowed on each and every one of us. God bless you and your families.
God bless the USA.
Ready to dig in? This looks good.
Yes, it does. That is really good. You did good on them string beans. Macaroni.
I was gonna say that about your barbecue.
I hadn't even tried it yet.
That is delicious. It's moist. I don't think I've ever had barbecue this good.
Well, thank you.
Ever.
Thank you.
You definitely need to do this again.
Definitely. Thinking about cooking some bacon, smoking some bacon.
Wrapped around it? Yes, that would be good. Oh, really good.
It did turn out good.
I miss my grandma. Every time I make macaroni and cheese, it brings back memories. My grandma was a good cook.
I bet she was.
I'm ready to try this.
The smell, that smells and looks good. That's good. I don't believe I've ever had homemade banana pudding.
Really?
It's always either been the banana pudding, the box instant one, or the one that you have to do a little bit of cooking with.
But it still comes in a box.
Yes.
Well, this ain't no box banana pudding, I'll tell you.
That's good. It's actually got a creamier taste to it than the box stuff. It's really good.
That was a good meal today.
Yes, ma'am, it was. Surely was. You did good cooking though. Really good.
Thank you.
I think next time maybe we'll cook a brisket or something like that. Let it smoke.
That'd be good. I'm gonna be as stuffed as a tick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be about 100 pounds overweight. But this meal, we cook like this every night.
Well, once we start getting all that freshness out of the garden this year, it's gonna be a lot of canning.
Yeah, I have a lot of good fresh food coming out of the garden.
That's what I was gonna say, eating by the season.
So,
Nothing like fresh from the garden. I was actually surprised at how good that corn was.
yes.
It was nice, crispy.
Yes, it was. Well, that grocery store we got it from, they buy local, I think.
Yeah. You can definitely tell it came from a local farm.
Yeah.
And that's what I like when we do grocery shop. where we go. And it is coming from our locals.
Yeah. Definitely. They even have fresh boiled peanuts there.
Mm-hmm.
Some good boiled peanuts. Tasted a little bit like the ones they cook with a little bit of fat back in them. Got that's that good taste to them.
They are good. I know up north, I think they do the roasted peanuts. Down here in the south, it's got to be boiled peanuts.
Yeah. Parched peanuts have their place. They're good for making peanut butter. I love a good boiled peanut though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they're done right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can eat another bite.
That was good.
It was. Happy 4th, y'all.
Happy 4th. Y'all have a great night.
Y'all come back and see you soon.